In the 1950s, there was an upcoming country music star. She was playing all these fairs and shows, starting to get to sing at games. She was on the radio, which was a big deal, and she was starting to get to go on tour. She was so excited. She came back home for Thanksgiving, and she was told when she came that your dad's going to come. And her and her dad hadn't spoken in years. It was bad. Her dad was an alcoholic. He was a man that was given to rage and fighting and violence in the house, and he left them years before, and she didn't miss him. So I want Dad to come. Well, he's coming. He's coming a long ways. He's not going to turn around now. And they said, fine. She went to her room and she wrote a sign on the door. Said, I'm not coming out until you know who leaves. He knows who he is. Slammed the door. Not long after, there was a knock. They opened the door and there was her dad. And the mom said, hey, I'm sorry, but your daughter does not want to see you. And I know you wanted to see her and see us, but she's not going to come out of her room until you leave the house. And he says, what am I supposed to do? I was supposed to be here a couple of days. And you know, I got money for the bus ticket, but I didn't think I got money for a room. Come on, I really want to say I've changed. Things are different now. It's up to you, but she's not going to come out of the room until... I don't want to make things uncomfortable for you guys. I'll just go. So we went and he slept at the bus station until his bus would go. The next day, the singer said, hey, you know, it's good seeing everybody, but I got to go on tour. And, you know, the radio's playing my song, and she was so excited. She got on a bus and started heading to the next destination, and a freak winter storm kicked up. And the bus had to pull over, and then the bus wouldn't start up again. And then some of the tires had some holes and started deflating. And so the bus is stranded on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. And it's cold inside, but she starts crying because she's not worried about the cold, but she's worried because she had diabetes pretty severely. And she only brought enough insulin for the day before, and thinking she'd get to her destination where she would have more. And she's starting to panic, realizing, hey, this is how I'm going to die. I don't have any insulin. What am I going to do? And she's starting to panic and pretty fast. And an old man started walking down the aisle and said, young lady, are you okay? And she said, well, I'm so glad you asked. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm afraid I'm going to die. Why? Well, I have diabetes, and I don't have my insulin shot, and it's so cold, and I don't know if I can make it. And the man said, it's okay. I understand diabetes. And he lifted his glasses. He had gone blind, and he said, it was the diabetes that took my eyes. I understand what you're going through. I don't want you to worry because I have enough insulin. I have some for you and I have some for me. Here, take this shot of it. And, oh my God, you saved my life. Thank you so very much. And the man said, I know who you are. I recognize your voice. Your talking voice is almost as beautiful as your singing voice. I love your songs. I can't believe you wrote those. Oh, you like my music? I listened to you on the radio, and you know I wanted to come see some of your concerts. But well, what brings you to town? Well, I was supposed to see some family, and I was thinking about moving here, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out. And so they just started talking like a young lady and kind of like a grandpa figure would talk. And as they're talking, the time's going by, and she's feeling normal, feeling good. And then he says, "Hey, I'm so tired, and it's so nice talking with you. I'm sorry to ask, but would it be okay if I used your shoulder as a pillow?" And she said, yeah, of course, go ahead, and put her arm around him. And there he kind of dozed off, and she kind of dozed off. And before they knew it, they're knocking on the door. Some rescuers had come, and they opened up the bus. And as they're coming, she wakes up, and she goes to wake the man up, and he wouldn't wake up. And she shook him again. And you see, he had lied to her. He didn't have enough insulin for both of them. He only had one shot left. And so he gave it to her. And she realized what had happened, and she said, this man saved my life. What a good, kind man he was. And she was still excited about her tour and everything. She felt bad for the man, but she had just met him. And they said, hey, we'll give him a proper burial. You know, go on your way. The rescuers are here. You got to go now. It's getting awful cold in here. And she was thankful to meet the man, and that the man saved her life. And the next day she opened the paper, and she saw a name that she recognized. It was under the heading of a hero saves a young singer's life. Gives his last shot of insulin, and it retold the story of how he was there. And she looked at that name, and that name was the name of her dad. And it just broke her heart. She thought to herself, he was knocking on the door just hours before, and I didn't open it. This kind man had radically changed his life. He wanted to know me, and I'm the reason he's gone. I'm the reason he died. And I put that sign on the door. I'm not coming out till you know who leaves. I could have known him. He could have still been here. If only I could go back. If only things were different. I had this opportunity, and I slammed the door. What regret. What angst. What a heartbreak. Today you have an opportunity, friend. It was for us that Christ died. It was for us that he came knocking on the door. He gave his life for our life. Today I want to pray for you and pray with you. The worship team could come as we prepare our hearts to conclude. Let's pray together. Our Father in heaven,